der Bühne Patti Smith, die Dichterin aus New York. Mit ihren 2 Gedichtbänden hat sie die amerikanische Lyrikszene in neue Bewegung versetzt. Patti Smith, als Dichterin von den Eingeweihten verehrt, als Rocksängerin zum Idol geworden. Viele ihrer Songs haben immer noch als Gedicht Bestand.
Stocking feet or barefoot, immensely proud or bent like love, twig, scaffold, grave digger, a dancer in wind, the same wind yet stinking of pigs, rose or the pollen which makes one cough, cruel, fantastic, unlike anything else. To have no need for the apparatus of the operating room, to be safe from all bodily harm, to know love without exception, to be a saint in any form.
Patti Smith. Was gab den Anstoß, Gedichte zu schreiben?
Well, to me, it's like all my life, you know, when I was a young girl, I liked very much to study the Bible. When I was like 4 years old, I used to walk through forests and feel completely free. The animals I communicate with, it's like a pony would walk up out of a field and talk to me. I just felt telepathic with everything. I felt like in tune with the universe. And as I got older, society ingrains you, rules, regulations, political dogma, religious dogma. They take away your telepathy and push you inside your body. You no longer feel like a dervish. You know, you're no longer spinning. And all my life, I've been trying to like get back to that freedom. And then I discovered when I was about 12 years old, 13, art. And art was a great revelation to me. And then all my life, it's like still that freedom I had as a child. You know, I didn't want to, you know, learn about grammar. So it was very hard for me to write. So I had to study Henry Miller, study Mickey Spillane, study Burroughs, study Rimbaud, and learn just how to make a sentence. I studied T.S. Eliot for his rhythm, his music, you know. And I listened to Jujuka tapes. I listened to the tapes of Berbers, of like primitives. And then I listened to the great primitives, American rock and roll. And then the Rolling Stones, I started listening to the Rolling Stones, and I studied all these people to be able to get me into a rhythm where my word and my body connected. And I was writing poetry. You know, I started writing the poems in my first book, Seventh Heaven. I used to put the Rolling Stones on, get in my typewriter, Blaise and Drawers. He was one of my favorite, French. I get into a rhythm, paint it black, you know, and start writing, you know. Start writing in the rhythm of the Rolling Stones, but I'd write my own language. And poetry was the most releasing drug for me.
Wie ein reinigender Sturm brach Patti Smith mit ihren Gedichtbänden in die mittlerweile festgefahrene New Yorker Schule der Dichtkunst ein. Sie gab der Bewegung der neuen Sensibilität den vitalsten Impuls. Als Rocksängerin hat sie den Kreis der Lyrikfreunde gesprengt, auch mit den Songs ihrer Kollegen.
I was very poor when I was young, and what always concerned me was like the richness of my imagination. I mean, material things, they just didn't matter. What mattered to me was developing my mind, you know. When I came to New York, you know, to be an artist, I had no money, no friends. I slept in sidewalks, I slept on the subways. The cops beat me up, I had no food. But like, I was so happy, you know, because like, well, I guess I was romantic, but I read all these books about Brancusi, Modigliani, Rimbaud, all of them. None of them had money. All poor, all struggling, all having barely the money to buy a notebook to write their poetry, all having to write their poetry on, you know, grateful for this, you know. Oh, paper, you know, papier, you know. My first book I got no money for. They skipped out of town, you know. Poets don't make money. I mean, it's like they never did. It's like they're scourged, you know. But like this poet's gonna make money. I mean, I make money because I work hard. I make money because like I work night and day. I worked night and day in a factory, I made money. I worked night and day when I was a thief, I made money. I mean, when I was a young poet, had no money, I became a pickpocket. I learned from Genet. Genet didn't make money being a poet. He made money being a pickpocket, you know? That's what I had to do, you know? It's like you do whatever you must do to keep doing your art, but you never sell your art. You can prostitute your body, but never your art.
New Yorker Künstler können vom Erlös aus Patti Smiths Konzerten zehren. Sie selber hält wenig von Besitz und Geld. Für das Wort Geld, Money, hat sie nur ein entsetztes Keuchen übrig.
If I make money from my art, it's a blessing. I mean, the money I make from rock and roll, I give away. I recycle. It's very important. I devote my money. I send it to Ethiopia. They're having a famine, you know. Ethiopia was good to Rimbaud. I'll be good to Ethiopia. I give my money to new rock bands, you know, like all these young rock bands in New York. I'll give my money to St. Mark's Church when I get money. I mean, I'll give my money to poets, you know, I do. I give my money to young people who are making new cinema magazines. I mean, to keep it going, to keep the life force going. I mean, I get into things, you know, like the other day, I made a lot of money. I gave my mother money, I gave poets money. I had money left over, so I went to the store and I went to this real fancy place where they make mink coats. I had them make me a mink motorcycle jacket. You know, it's like a dream, you know. But I mean, I could do without it. For me, it's like fun, you know. It's like a fantasy. But if I never had anything but this coat, I had this coat since I was 16. I'm 30 years old. I had this since I was 16. It's all I need, you know. I mean, if I have money, great. No money, it doesn't matter. I have my mind. My mind, my imagination, you know, my energy is like the most valuable thing to me. Money cannot buy it.
Arthur Rimbaud hat Patti Smith veranlasst, ihre neueste Platte Radio Ethiopia zu nennen. Patti Smith versteht sich selber immer noch als Dichterin. Mit ihrer Band versucht sie, die Poesie vor ein Millionenpublikum zu zerren. Selbst dort noch, wo der Rhythmus, wo die Musik und nicht mehr das Wort überspringt.
Ivan Crowell, Andy Paley on space, temporary space, space replacement. Ivan Crowell on guitar, J.D. Doherty, drums. J.D. Doherty! Ivan Crowell! Andy Paley! Lenny Kaye! You are part of this too! Jesus.